Hi everyone, it's Casey Williams. I remember when I was a little kid, my uncle showed up one day and had this bright red Fiat Spider convertible. Just an absolutely beautiful car with its Pininfarina designed body. But then as he had kids and my cousins were born and he just needed something more practical for work, he moved on to Japanese compacts like the Mazda Protege. Well, it turns out if he was to buy another Fiat 124 Spider, he might find a lot in common with both the Protege and his original Fiat. Let's go have a look at the 2017 Fiat 124 Spider and see why there's so much in common. While this Fiat Spider isn't designed by Pininfarina, it is designed in Italy by Fiat. And there are a lot of design cues shared with the original Spider. You know, the grille outline, the grille shape, the hood stamping, kind of the bulges there, the round headlamps, of course. It's a very Fiat Spider face that was once very famous about 30 years ago. Come around the side, you have a little more modern proportions to the car, a little more modern design. This is the Lusso edition, 17-inch alloy wheels. Get this satin silver header for the windshield. I kind of like the lower ground effects. I think the whole car, it's really clean, but looks really good. You know, this kind of kick-up line here, again, harkens back to the original Spider. If you look really close at it, you'll notice there's not a rear seat in it, as the original Spider had. And that's because this car is actually based on the Mazda Miata. And we'll talk more about that in just a second. Come around the back of the car. Again, more connection to the original Spider. Rectangular tail lamps. Got twin exhaust outlets down below, look really stylish. And there's even a really a subtle spoiler here built into the deck lid. So again, it looks like a modern car, but you can also tell that it is a Fiat Spider. Well, as I said a few minutes ago, much of the Fiat Spider is based on the Mazda Miata. So the chassis, the body structure, the interior is pretty much all Miata. But where they really differ is underneath the hood and with the transmission. So instead of having a Mazda engine, this has 1.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. It's a Fiat engine. Delivers 160 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque. It's connected to a 6-speed automatic transmission. The transmission is actually the last generation Miata's transmission. And in my mind, it just shifts a little bit smoother, it's a little less finicky, a little less temperamental. And the nice thing about the engine is instead of having to rev it really hard to get power out of it, you've got that nice low-end torque that comes from a turbocharger. So it's really a nice combination with the engine and the transmission. So talk about fuel economy. That's also one of the bright spots of this car. You get 26 miles per gallon in the city, 35 miles per gallon on the highway. So you got a pretty frugal economy car on top of all that. And I think it's just really nice. The other thing I really like about this car with the Lusso package is it has the touring suspension package, which means instead of just being super stiff, just shaking your teeth out every single day, it just has a little more compliant ride. It's still plenty sporty, you can still put it into a corner, it'll still grip. And for most people, they'll think it rides rough. But compared to like the Abarth edition of this car, it's really a much more comfortable car for every day. And you feel like you could get in it, drive it 4 or 5 hours and really enjoy the drive. Well, a lot of sports cars have power tops. And even the Miata, you know, the RF edition now has a Targa with a power top version. But it's just totally unnecessary in a car like this. And here's why. One lever here, push it back, straighten it, done. It's that simple. You can do it at a stoplight and to put it back up, one lever, grab it, back in again. It just couldn't be any easier to use. So coming inside the car is really where you do realize there's a lot of Mazda Miata in this car. And that's not a bad thing, because I think Miata has one of the best sports car interiors. So you got heated leather seats in the car. These are really nice. You got automatic climate control. Again, some of the luxury features on the car. This has their Joy Wheel controlled screen. So you've got the audio, you've got navigation, you've got optional navigation, all controlled here. Works really well. Again, this only has 4 speakers in it. It'd be nice to get an up-level sound system. I think it just sounds a little stronger. Both the top up and cranked, it sounds okay. And some of the other things this car has, I like the 3-spoke steering wheel, looks very nice. Simple gauges. Again, it's just a really nice car inside. It's relatively comfortable. Nice view out the hood. I like the long hood, especially on the Fiat, even over the Miata. I think it just does something for a car. And there's even some safety features on this car. It's got proximity sensors, it's got the rear camera, and it's got blind spot warnings. And that's actually kind of helpful, because sometimes at the top up, you have those thick side pillars. Just a little bit hard to see out of the car. But the blind spot warnings really help. But overall, just a really pleasant place to be for a car this size. Well, the purists out there might say, it's not really an Italian sports car if it's, you know, built on the Mazda Miata platform. It's actually assembled in Japan alongside the Miata. But here's what I really think about it. I think from the styling to the interior, I think all of it's just very nice. It really takes you back to the original car. but also modernizes it too. And honestly, I think the fact that it's kind of based on the Amelia really makes it the kind of car you probably remember in your dreams and not the car that it actually was in the past. So let's talk about pricing. That's really one of the car's strong points too. It starts just under $25,000. As equipped, you're looking at $29,985. So comfortably under $30,000 even with all the luxury features of the Lusso Edition. So next week we'll have another fun car, and until then, storm forward.